more smartly about what's happening under the skin, how the muscle functions when I'm training it. Where's the muscle placed? All right. What's the grain of the muscle? Okay. When I'm trying to do some exercise, when I'm tricking my back, if you look at a schematic, a scale on the wall, anatomy chart, look at the grain of muscle. Some muscles flow up and down, the grain of the muscle. Okay. Up and down. Then you look at the back muscles. They just seem to go from
inside
to west, east to west. So if I'm doing exercise to stimulate that movement, right, I want to make sure I'm doing exercises that are going to be beneficial for that muscle, right? I'm training my bicep this way. It's all beneficial. So how to increase the intensity of my training? Slow it down. How to increase the intensity of isometric contraction? Lighten up the weight. Let the mental do the contraction, isometrically. Stay within the focus.
You like that?
It's the first stage of training, execution, right? Because you got isometrically. Look at Bruce Lee. He didn't do no weight training. That boy's body was crazy, cut up hard, some balance. He wasn't out there doing all this, eating protein and all this other crazy shit. Bruce would tell you, man, be the water, be fluid, be the water. Yeah. You know what I mean? But look at the physique. And expects it. Oh my gosh! So again, isometric contraction in training, I think is essential for training because that brings in the precision part of training, right? Because you can bring you in here and throw some weight on the wall and go get it, which I think you do. Most people training, I see them training. I like to try to offset them sometimes. Today we training with dumbbells. Look at the movement. We curling. The muscles doing the same thing. All right, we pushing. Muscles doing the same thing. Let's take away the physical approach with how we're training the muscle. I'm going to try to do some more reflex training muscles. So instead of just doing concentration, stagnated movements, I got power movements, pop movements, reflex chaining movements. I'm trying to activate this muscle sensitivity area, right? So increase the senses, increase the activity, increase the nutrition, and create the resistance, and let their body grow like a flower, plant the seed, right? Instead of planting the seed like we normally do, you plant it, but then you put too much water on it. It's like, dude, how many reps and sets are you doing? What do you mean? I'm doing, I do 8 reps and then I go to failure. Okay, terminology is fine. You're going to failure. What is going to failure? Until I can't lift the muscle, I can't lift it anymore. What's the purpose of that? Why would I want to do that? But then they can't answer that. I don't understand the connection.
You want to connect in each rep and with each part of the movement. Mm-hmm. That's the way you think.
Okay. A rep, that makes all the activation. That keeps everything going. That's how we train. Training is all mechanical, and to me, it's all demonstrative. Okay, that's training. That blueprint, okay, the knowledge, that blueprint, that training plan, that's where the mind comes in. That's mind over muscle, right? Yes. So how is your blueprint? What's your principle? Your principles start with, I need heavy weights. You're not going to understand how you train, okay? But my principle says I don't need heavy. So you have to change your training principle and mindset. You're in the mindset that, hey, go hard, go heavy, or go home. You can come in here and be brutal, do what you do. I mean, the world is full of these guys, and it's great. I have nothing against it. Hell, I try to train like that. But then you start thinking, why? Because I'm training like this, shit's super heavy, and you're telling me I gotta go heavy, and I gotta train heavy, gotta train hard. I like that. Then I ask you, how many sets and reps do I have to do? Then you got that discrepancy where you gotta train with, I got people training with 2 reps, okay? Shock reps. What the fuck is that? What's a shock rep? And how does that benefit my growth potential? I need a balanced routine. They're not gonna grow in those centimeter or 2 centimeters tomorrow, next week, next month. You've been training this way for a year, and it's still the same. So then I'm gonna ask you, why are you training to infinity? Why are you just going over the cliff all the time when the results never change? Stuck with it. I'm saying get it anyway. And it goes to nutrition, it goes to training, but it all stops with the mindset, what you believe in. That's what makes it work, man. That's what makes it work.
And about this topic of what you believe, when you started with in 1983 with your contest history, mm-hmm. You believe you will be a top 3 of the Olympia? No,
not even close. Not even close. Listen, seeing bodybuilding, having a chance to train Now you're gonna go on stage. I mean, that was the whole thing. Well, I'm going on stage one day because I saw this amateur show. I think I can do that too, you know. So I'm gonna start training tomorrow. You know, shit like this. What's my diagram? What's my plan? I asked my buddy Vince 3 things. The 3 B's: eat big, train big, sleep big. That's the key, bro. Do those 3, you can stand up. You do 2 out of 3, you're gonna fall over. And it made all the sense in the world. So I'm like, okay, well, let me see if I can just train like this and see what happens. I just want to see some muscles. And then when you start seeing what you have as a physique, and even to them, people will tell you before you say anything, damn, dude, you look good. And you're like, I'm just going with this, it's it. And then you start liking what you're doing. You start training. You start wanting to see, you can start seeing things happening. Then you become that bodybuilder. You know, I want this now. I want to start living a life, dreaming a life, thinking everything became training.
When you, at the 1991 Olympia, placing with your idols, you know, with Dorian and with Lee, his last Olympia title. So how did you feel? How did you felt in that moment?
It was crazy because that was like a secondary. You have to, for me, you would have to back up to 1989, my first Olympia.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody who had no idea you were going to be there. Number one, that's just crazy to think about. You go back to '88 when you had to qualify for the Nationals. You know, that whole trip to get to the Olympia, which is someplace I never thought I was going to be. Didn't even care about getting there. You know, all I knew in 1983, when I started this game, I wanted to be Mr. World and Mr. Universe.
That was your objective.
That's all I knew.
Yeah.
I want to be Mr. World, Vince Taylor, Mr. World. And then and I kept thinking, shit, what about America? That's a different organization, AAU. Mr. America. Damn, that sounds fantastic. I want to be Mr. America. You know, that takes me back to my child days now, Hercules and everything, Mr. America. And I mean, my first show was 1984. You know, hell, I got some pictures in my wall on it. But the point of it is that I came into this game, every level, to have fun. Just to have fun. And give me some girls. So Weeder, push-pull training system.
Yeah, the push-pull legs.
Push-pull.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's perfect. I started that back in the 80s and never stopped. But from a nutritional standpoint, I understood you got to eat every 3 hours. This is that bodybuilding.
And a push-pull leg 6 times per week training.
Wednesdays and Saturdays, my leg days, right? So I actually never broke my training down, and none of my workouts really, to be serious with you, like having not a heavy day, but a hamstrings and not with the quads, because I'm working legs and they go together. I'm training them together because I get this shit done in one session. I'm out of there. You see what I'm saying? So I just kept everything super, super basic because it's, again, that never changes.
And your mind connection. That's all about.
I want to feel that muscle, right? So what I started doing, and I noticed, I would do a normal workout back in the day. Then I would use a cable workout. I call it my shadow workout. So let's say I did the whole body on the cable machine. So if I did my chest, I did 2 or 3 sets when I'm finished, which I call 2 or 3 sets if you want to break it down. But it wasn't that. Your workout today is finished. Before I go home, let's go do a couple sets of biceps on the cable. A couple sets on the cable. On the cable. Repeat a full workout. Lightweight, mental focus on movement and contraction. I call that quality control workout. Only difference it has changed from 1980s to 2000s is that my quality control workout went down to probably about 30 or 40 pounds, total body workout with dumbbells, with full mental contraction, full mental thought. I'm just training. This is a regular workout.
So you during all these years of training, you know, during your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and now during these last 20 years, nothing has changed.
No. Everything's the same.
Do you feel that your body reacts different? Or
it does.
Yeah.
It acts truly different. It takes so much less to have that appreciation for a training workout. Because beforehand, I would go and work out. I'm going there because I have A, B, C to get done. I know I'm going to do it, whether I'm happy or whether I'm sad. That work needs to be done. Do the work. Get up to the 10 arms and get out of it. I didn't leave the gym thinking, man, I had a fucked up workout. This was messed up today. Because to me, Every rep counts. Good or bad, depends on how you want to see a rep, good or bad. But I'm taking hold of that rep. That was work my body went through. Blood flow was there, everything was there. Only thing that wasn't there was here. The work got done. Because if work was not done emotionally, was I happy? Was I laughing and smiling? I'm tired, I don't want to go to the gym, I feel that. I ain't trying to hear that. Just go do A, B, C and get out of there. Kept that mindset. And that kept right. But now, what am I looking for on those days that didn't go the way I thought it was? Because right now, for some reason, I'm thinking about this workout, right? Normally, I come to work out, it's like a job. Go get it done and get out of there. But for some reason, I'm dialing in, I'm thinking on some things. What am I doing differently in this workout that's not working right? Only thing I can change is my speed. Only thing I can change is the amount of resistance I put on this thing. What am I doing to affect the overall plan? Speed, rhythm, balance, isolation. Think about what that muscle's doing, give it what it needs, and then accept the fact when I create that condition, right? It's there, check the box, move on. That's not a bad workout, all right? Because I'm using lighter weight to do what I did the other workout, I still got the same work done. Intensity, mental is there. So it's all about application more than about resistance. That's why I went from power training, crazy training, boom, to quality control training day. I'm gonna come in, practice my form, my breathing, my mental, to make sure I'm feeling good. I'm looking at seeing what I'm training like this. And the first couple of sets or whatever, I'm looking at the muscles I'm trying to get to activate to see if that connection is there. If that muscle is activated in the training we're gonna do today, I see I'm doing it right. So I'm never losing anything because I've got a goal for every time I'm training, right? So now when it shifts competition training, now I got to start looking at what I need to do to get that condition right. So now we start looking at nutrition. When you start looking at what do I know about nutrition? What am I being told about nutrition? What am I can't do in nutrition? It's like after a few trial and error of trying to do it the way everybody else says it, then you're going like, nah, I'm gonna put a little salt on this one. All of a sudden, you got a whole different direction you go. I like that, but they're saying you can't. And I find out, yes I can. So now my protein drinks went straight to my Coca-Cola. You keep your protein, okay? I'm drinking Coca-Cola. I'm drinking Diet Coke. Hell no. Coca-Cola, the real deal.
The real one.
The real deal. I don't want no diet anything, okay? It's like, well, you can't do that. Why can't I do that? Oh, you didn't put the ice cubes in. Cold before protein drinks. I never dove into the protein drinks. I don't believe in them.
You didn't use too many supplements, anyone?
No. Work with the companies, great companies, all the supplements. I'm like, if I'm going to use a supplement for muscle gain and muscle this and muscle that, then I'm not going to use a commercial supplement. I'm going to use a pharmaceutical supplement. My goal for this supplement is for me to gain muscle quality and muscle mass. When this supplement gives me that, what am I wasting time over here for? Give me that and I'll work with this. Simple as that. So then you start being fortified. But when you do this, you got to make sure your nutrition is this. How are you eating? And that's when they hit you. You eat clean? What's clean? Well, you can't have sugar. You can't have salts. Oh, did you drink Coca-Cola? No, can't drink Coca-Cola Light. You're not my kind of guy. So when I'm getting ready for a competition, how do I get ready? You think how these guys compete today. They do one show a year, it looks like. We did 6-7 shows in a week and a half. Okay?
Yeah.
So you peaking, you trying to control that peak, maintain that shit. If you can get it right, your chances of making that money, which is what it's all about. I watch all my competitors, my friends, Chris Premier's, a good friend of mine, Leverone, Ronnie Coleman, all these guys, Nassau, everybody out there. I watch how y'all get ready. We go there, hit a hotel, we come in to compete. You just flew that international flight, you hit that country, you're settling down, you gotta get that depression off your body, man. You got your body's holding water from the flying and everything. You got to start rebalancing everything, right? So now you try to get ready for the show, which is in 48 hours. What are you going to be doing on your prep now to get ready for that show? How are you drying out? How are you getting ready? All this thing comes be a problem, right? So first thing I noticed is that once you get to where you're going, you change your dietary habits. right? We get to hotels and they break out that buffet. They got all the food, the steaks, and all that kind of stuff. So now you're gonna load up because the food is there. You're hungry anyway. You just forgot. You're competing, dude. Just you on a diet, a continuation of I don't know how many weeks you put in. But man, I put in 8 to 10. So now 8 to 10, I get here. We do a show. If you win, you feeling it, okay? If you're not winning because you're not tight enough yet, you got to maintain whatever you're doing to prep for the next show, right? So my thing was treat each show like it's the first one. The day before, 2 days before, go through the same preparations I do for that same day, for that same show. So each country, 2 days before we get there, I go to that same prep. My buddies, they pigging out, getting that food, because you're not gonna get too much food when you're traveling. So they frigging out. They're going through their conditionings for overnight. Next day they're ready. Some of them are holding water. Whatever happens. I get me a corn. I sit down there in the lobby in the breakfast area. Everybody's coming down. Everybody grabbing their eggs and stuff. They doing their stuff because it's there, right? I got a corn and some sherbet. Eat that shit. Put my hoodie on. Go outside and go run. Come back in, dry it out, vascularity's running, I'm tight again, right? I'm going like, now what are these guys doing? These guys are in here eating rice and potatoes as if, this carb loading phase is just started. You're already carved up. You've already been competing. You've already made that stage already. So now you should be able to maintain what you're doing rather than try to approach it a different way. But it depends on how smart you are. What do you need to do to get back in shape? Stay tight. I found my way. And then I just stayed. And you're like, fuck, how do you do that? I don't have a nutritionist to tell me that. I do know when I'm standing here talking to people at the bar, when I see my fellow competitors and their coaches with them, giving them raisins and one grape and one this and one that, like 10 grams of rice. They serious about this shit.
Yes.
And that's what got me. It's like, that's not me. I drink Coca-Cola.
You're more relaxed.
Yeah, I drink Coca-Cola. If I don't eat, I ain't gonna eat. That's how I did my trips. So it's like, stay in condition, stay tight, but that worked for me, right? But again, it's principles. It's how you look at shit and how you think things are supposed to work. Because everything ain't good for everybody. And what you look at for yourself, I'm telling you, man, you gotta take another look at that and ask that question, why? Why? You're gonna find out. But why is gonna tell you it really don't make a difference, right? It's me telling you training hard. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Why are you smiling? Because it's not bugging me to train. You can't be smiling and training. You gotta train, man. You gotta be mad. You gotta have red eyes and all that kind of shit. You serious? I'm like, that ain't me. I don't need it that bad, okay? And I would do it my way. I'm talking, smiling, having fun, getting my work done. Boom, I don't want to show. You red eyes, crazy, mad, psycho, and you didn't win. Because your mental's not right? You supposed to win because you frowning. Somebody told you, be mad, you can win this shit. Somebody told me, don't give a fuck about this. The judge is going to tell you you're going to win, so don't worry about that shit. Attitude.
That's true.
Attitude. Let it go with attitude.
All is about mindset for you.
Always. Because you don't control anything. You never, man, that bodybuilding is a crazy world. When you're on that stage and you're looking at, you ask yourself, what am I in this for? Am I in it for money? Am I in it for glory? All right? You gotta look at it. Well, glory is gonna come hard because there's too many options out there. Your best bet is going there for the money, right? So get yourself in the position where you can make some of the money. You're not gonna make the most of the money because there's gonna be better physiques out there on that day. But it's gonna be some days you're gonna have the best physique. Give yourself a chance to get it, right? And that was my mindset. Go for this show. I'm not gunning for nobody. If my body's looking like this and you telling me I'm looking good, I'm good. I'm good. That's the mindset. Something's working, Because if you telling me you ain't looking like shit, I'm all zoned in and dialed in, I'm gonna go crazy. Like, what I gotta do?